Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a regular town meeting. Today is Tuesday, 23 June. The time is 6 p.m. on the button. Before we get started, I just wanted to address one of the things that I added to the agenda tonight. So folks that may be wondering why that's there. And the reason it is, I plan to step down as the mayor, not a commissioner, this evening. And that way I have a vote on the new mayor, hopefully that we can select tonight, which is on the agenda, and discuss that in detail. And the reason for that is I'd like to be able to establish some continuity, pass off everything I have to that person if they're willing to accept it, and make sure that this is as seamless as possible as I transition onto other things. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood that that was the intention this evening. It's not negative in any way, shape, or form. It's designed to be positive, and I think we have proven that. We've got the JPA and the ordinance done. We're well on our way. We're working on a lot of other things, and it takes us coming together to get that done. So that's the reason that I plan to do that this evening. So effective immediately, I'm stepping down as the mayor, and I can continue to chair this meeting this evening unless there's any objections to that. And this will be my last chair as the mayor. So on to next item would be welcome and roll call. So please take the roll call vote.
Commissioner Brennan?
Here.
Commissioner Milligan?
Here.
Commissioner Raridan?
Here.
Commissioner Murillo?
Here.
Commissioner Taylor?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. For those who wish to join us, please stand for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Almighty God, thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you for the blessings you've given us. We pray for the men and women in Klein's Corner as they're fighting that fire, Lord. Just give them wisdom and discernment to knock it out and take care of it, Lord. And pray for a good evening tonight and give us guidance for your will as we work through the issues for the town. In the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico and the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
All right, moving on to item B, approval of agenda. Need a motion to approve the agenda.
Mr. Chair.
All right, it was a draw.
Go right ahead.
Commissioner Murillo.
I'll pass.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Do we want to do the roll call vote with this, or we can just press otherwise? Okay, all in favor of approval of the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Motion carries. Thank you. Next up is public comments. Thank you. First up is Catherine Laguna.
Thank you, Chairman Rayner and commissioners, town staff. My name is Catherine Laguna. I live about half mile from the East Mountain Cowboy Church property, and I'm a member there. For over 2 years, actually for many years, it has tried to do one thing, one simple thing, and that is improve the property we own to better serve this community. The same thing any owner here wants for their land. The subdivision is just the latest step. We had our documentation improved once, then because of staff turnover and loss of misfiled records, we were told to start the process over again. We did, every step. At the June 18th P&Z meeting, our final step was deferred again because of our public notice was missing time and place of the meeting on the form the town gave us and the town staff approved before mailing. Question, sorry?
No, I'm sorry.
We followed town's instructions exactly, and we were penalized for this town's mistakes. And we were not alone. At the same night, at least 3 subdivision applications were tabled, every one of them for the same defect on the same town form. I watched it happen one after another. When one applicant makes a mistake, that's on the applicant. When application after application fails the identical way, on the town's own template that staff approved before it went out, that is not applicant error. That is a system failure. And it is the town's to own and to fix. These delays are not abstract. My mother passed recently. Even her illness, where she looked forward to seeing the church grow and serve. I asked 3 things: fix the defect, staff the department, and make the owners whole. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. Sorry to hear about your mother. Next up, Mr. John Abrams.
Oh, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So I have in my hand here the 12 pages of a court judgment which the town of Edgewood won. But as with many court judgments, careful what you wish for. Going through this, I noticed a few things. And they have to do with the town and with the town's budget and with what the town owns. Reading through this, the judgment itself, item number 64, states very plainly that roads are public and owned by the town, even though in this case they were maintained by an HOA. There are lots of roads in the town that are platted, and on those plats, the preponderance of them says that the roadway is dedicated to public use. According to this and 3 precedents that this decision uses, all of those roads that are designated as private may not be. Let that soak in for a second. That's over 60 miles of additional road the town is responsible for, regardless of what you think. According to this decision, and according to the precedents that they used, the town of Edgewood is now responsible for my road, which I have maintained at my expense, but at your, I guess, pleasure, for the last 22 years. So I would caution you about your budget, because you just inherited a giant barrel of stinky fish that you're going to have to attend to. And this winter, when people are calling up and saying, "Hi, I'm trapped because there's too much snow," let's hope there's too much snow. You might have to go and plow their road, even though in the past that has been denied. I just wanted to let you all know that I'll be watching this, and I'm going to look at a whole lot more plats because I know what mine says. Thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Mary Conant?
I gave my minutes to John.
Okay, all right. Ms. Laurie Lynn Francis? Did I pronounce that right?
Chair Mayor, she's on YouTube, so she would like for me to read her comment.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
She's on YouTube.
On YouTube, and the clerk is going to read her comment.
Okay,
Sorry.
all right, perfect,
Very
thank you.
short.
All right.
Yes. So I'm going to read a comment on behalf of Lori Lynn Franchise. Just a reminder to the public as we approach the upcoming holiday that the police have no legal obligation to respond to anything. See Castle Rock versus Gonzalez. Furthermore, just a reminder to the police, it is more likely than not a civil rights violation to jump a locked gate to enter curtilage without a warrant or a probable cause. That's the end of her comment.
Okay, all right, thank you. Moving on, Ms. Cheryl Hubbard. Yeah, that's fine.
Hi, Jean DeMarty, Edgewood, New Mexico. I had the opportunity to watch last Thursday's Planning and Zoning meeting. It was the first time I had ever seen it. My area of expertise has always been following you guys in your meetings. I was completely and totally horrified at what I saw. And after that, I did actually listen to the entire sermon from the Cowboy Church, which talked about their reflection on what happened. Some of the people on planning and zoning were appointed to that board in 2022. There is no excuse at all for them not knowing what the agenda should have been like, what the form should have been like, or how to run a meeting. And I'd like to remind all of you that those people that are appointed, they serve at the will of the commission. So you can get rid of them. Thank you, and I yield the rest of my time to Cheryl.
Thank you.
Cheryl Huppert's Edgewood. I served on P&Z approximately 6 years ago. I volunteered because I was asked to by the current mayor. I was not given a stipend, but the town council decided to give us $50 a month. I would have done it for free. I wanted an opportunity to serve my community, which I'd never done before. I found it to be very interesting and rewarding to serve. The current commissioners, planning and zoning commissioners, receive $400. We met twice a month and sometimes extra for certain projects. The current commissioners meet once a month. They are being more than compensated for their time. I believe the P&Z Commission should meet twice a month to compensate for mistakes like this, like what happened. Giving them more money has not helped them be more committed to learning the process. Last Thursday's P&Z meeting was a disaster, as you've already heard. 4 of the applicants had letters sent out notifying neighbors that their subdivision application did not have the location and time of the meeting, so the applicants could not be heard. But the staff had said everything was good to go before the meeting. It appeared at the meeting that some of the commissioners had not even reviewed the packet before the meeting. When these mistakes happen, applicants are put off for another month. Once the applicant has been working with P&Z, one of the applicants has been working with P&Z since April, Cowboy Church, since that's already out, and they were put off again the other night. They were also, the P&Z thing also, they have parliamentary procedure issues. There was a time they were not sure what to do. Also, I've been told by past P&Z staff that they don't know where the old hard copy minutes are. I'm getting the impression that they're too lazy to look. It was easier to tell the applicant to start over. I have a hard time believing that they were destroyed. I believe those hard copy minutes from 2021 that can't be found are in that office somewhere, and I'd be glad to come look, and I'm going to ask to do that tomorrow. I'm also getting the impression that the P&Z department has no oversight, so they are doing what they want. Either our town manager, or commissioner needs to take on this oversight. there also seems to be a misunderstanding among town commissioners. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little tongue-tied tonight. I've been told that they can't be involved because they might have to hear an appeal, if appeal was to happen. But that isn't true. They've been buffaloed into believing this. I'm talking about you, some of you, if they know, I just can't get involved with that. But a town commissioner could help them with training in parliamentary procedures. You're pretty good at parliamentary procedures. You could help them there. You could help get people to come in to train them. You could critique some of their past meetings and say, well, what could they improve on how they heard this person? I used to do that when we would finish our meeting and everybody go away. We would critique ourselves. Well, what could we have done better? And that would help us to learn how to do a better job. If some of the P&Z commissioners can't agree to meeting twice a month, I've been told some of them will not do that, then I think they need to get off. You need to appoint someone else. The current situation, the town is wagging the dog. The town is putting effort into economic development. But what good is it if that applicant can't even get through P&Z? Our town's future depends upon a well-oiled P&Z department. They need oversight and accountability. You know, and one of the reasons this town was formed was because the planning and zoning. They wanted it to be a little bit easier to do subdivisions and stuff and not have to track to Santa Fe. So it's not working. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The last person I have on the list, Mr. Eugene Barella.
Eugene Barella, District 5. I was prompted basically by the meeting before last as to what that was all about. And I created something that's special. It's a thank you card. And I created it in a special way for Lorraine Raridan, and I hope she's listening. We want to express our deepest gratitude to you. Thank you for your profound sacrifice and sharing your husband with all of us. His dedication made a lasting difference. Thank you. Sincerely, Eugene Barella. That's for your wife. And basically, I think when we feel where there's reputational harm, it affects our families. And I would hope that other people would sign this with me. And if you will, take it to your wife. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you,
I will definitely
Lorraine.
do that. Thank you, Eugene. That was very kind. And she is the rock. That she helped me tremendously. She did. Thank you. Did I miss anyone out there? Anyone else wish to present public comments? Go ahead, sir.
I'm Kurt Miller, pastor of East Mountain Cowboy Church. As I was watching your all's response to some of the comments that were made, I just want to make some clarification. Thursday night was a cluster, if there was a cluster. You know, I've done research, I've contacted legal counsel. There was a mistake made by the former, most recent director of planning and zoning regarding the letter. There's emails back and forth between agents from the different people that he approved and said this letter is correct, I'll write it. So the information that we were required to put in, it was just description of our property, et cetera, was sent back. He nodded his head, sent an email back, said this is good to go. According to Robert's rules, if it's followed correctly, there is a specific example given regarding planning and zoning, and it says that planning and zoning, based on an error of a staff, member or the staff of planning and zoning, they can make a motion to amend the ERA and move forward and approve the projects, which they did not do. They just simply said, we can't go further. There's no time and location. We're done. They didn't represent the extension of Robert's rules. And in 2020, we came before the commission at that time, Planning and Zoning, and the City Commission, and we went through all the procedures that we had to go through to get that 60 acres, zoned correctly. And we were told at that time, we're given a list, and I have the list, of all the things that could go on that property, and a church was not listed, but a strip joint was. And so we had to, and there was half a page or more of items. So we went through the rezoning so that we could put a church there. And so we went special use because we were building the arena. The arena was approved. These minutes that that Ms. Hubbard's brought several weeks ago or months ago at a meeting that shows that it was approved. A former planning and zoning commissioner stood up here and testified. I was there. I approved it. So we did all of that. We were approved. We had the rezoning. But the challenge is with churches, because just to give you a backstory, and I'm out of time, I guess, already, is that churches grew so fast in the 90s. So many churches started, they exploded, and then within 3 years they collapsed financially. And so banks were throwing out millions. Bank of the West was the largest. A friend of mine was the president of the church loan. Billions of dollars lost because churches collapsed. So we didn't have, as a new church, the 3 to 5 year history, that we needed. So we had to wait. We had to grow the church. We had to get to a financial place. So last April, we came in with the new planning and zoning director and said, we're ready to start this. We'd already been approved. The city did not have the paperwork, but we had the paperwork. We presented it to the city. The minutes were presented, the letters, the receipts for the money that we paid to the city. All of that was presented. We had it. And the planning and zoning, when we went and talked to the director at that time, he said, well, I just think it's fair that we start from the beginning. And it's like, fair to who? It's not fair to us. So in April last year, when we started going through this last process, our budget was for the building with the subs, everything bid, $2.3 million. Since then, it's now 2.7. It's cost us $400,000. The commission and planning and zoning at that time could have said, well, why do you think it's fair? Let's do some investigation. Let's go back and see why we don't have this paperwork. Let's take the paperwork they have, which were copies of it, and let's just start from there and move forward. But they allowed, because the director thought it was fair to start over, we went through the whole process again. And here we are, and we still, it's not going to keep us from building, but the approval of those lots is about $750,000. That money goes back to help pay that $2.7 million loan, which is now $400,000 more than when we started. And so this pushes us back. It doesn't keep us from building, but the issue with planning and zoning is that they had the opportunity to provide resources and leadership, not only for us, but for others, and they just simply said, well, because there's by law, but yet the current director, when Lonnie, Mr. Vaughn, who's sitting here, was handling that, we were told by the city that from moving forward, we had to post the signs. The city would provide it. We would have to mail the letters to the people that were impacted. So we did. But when Lonnie came in, the person in charge said, I'll do it for you. So we didn't post the signs. They did it as a service to us, but we were told we had to. He wrote the letter, told us we'll write the letter. He wrote the letter, sent it to everybody. We filled out the information that was requested. He sent it back and signed off on it, and then we send it, and we come in, and the commissioners looked like they didn't even read the packets before they got here, because if they'd have read the packets before they got here, they would have known that the letter was wrong. And so they show up and start reading the packets, and that's my assumption. But why would they not be ahead of, and why would they not communicate with the planning and zoning staff to know what was going on? In fact, one of the commissioners looked over at Elise Taylor and thought she was the new acting director of planning and zoning and didn't know she was just a staffer. And he said, well, I thought you were the new acting director. And he had to be told, no, She's just a staffer. And he goes, well, what do I call her? Well, her name was Elise Taylor. You call her Elise, Miss Taylor. And it was kind of a joke. So you got planning and zoning that doesn't even know what's going on with the staff. There's no communication. And so for the last 14 months, gentlemen, we have come in and been told this by the staff. We bring it, and it's just not us. We bring it to planning and zoning, and they said, no, you can't do it that way. But your staff told us this. Okay? We had meetings that we had to postpone because the staff did not announce the meeting in the time frame required. So all of this comes back on us. Well, when you look at the people that are involved in all of these things on the 7 on Friday night or the 4 or 5, those people are humans. And who knows what that selling of that property or subdivision, what it means to them financially, you know? But it was just basically, and then basically, you know, you can, and I'd encourage you, if you haven't looked at the meeting, go back and look at the meeting, because I think it'll be self-explanatory. But after I got stood up and talked, and she kept telling me to be quiet, I said, no, I'm not going to be quiet. You've let people stand up here under testimony and speak for 54 minutes attacking us as a church regarding things nothing to do what we're about, why we were here, building the church. They were attacking stuff from 7, 8 years ago, but they were allowed to continue to talk. And then they decided that, you know, instead of under testimony, you can talk as long as you want. They came back and said, we're going to change it. You only have 5 minutes. Well, what authority do they have on that? So after I got done and sat down, a remark was made by the chair that anybody who attacks anybody of this or this, and I got very close, I will have you thrown out of your meeting and arrested. My question is, does she have that authority? Do I have the authority to be thrown out and arrested because I chose not to stand, I chose to take a stand and say, no, we're not doing this anymore, folks. This is costing people money, it's costing emotion, it's costing pain, it's costing frustration, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, do this, you can't do this, do this, you can't. So who's doing what? So I would think that the planning and zoning would be in touch with the staff because the staff deals with the applicants. But then I felt like on this last Thursday is that they were opening the packets or looking at them electronically and going, oh, wait a minute, we can't do this because of this. We can't do this because of this. Why did you not know that beforehand, and why could you have not communicated that beforehand? So that's the frustration. So I say to you as commissioners, there is a huge distrust in this community when it comes to the politics. I say that out of respect to you gentlemen. But there's a huge distrust because of all the stuff that's going on. That's why there is a movement to disincorporate. That's why there is a movement, because there's been a lack of trust. And you know, I'm not in politics. My dad spent time in politics. He served at the state level. He served at the local level. And I'm like, you know, Dad, what in the world are you thinking? So I've watched what politics can do to a marriage. And my parents were married for 60 years before my dad passed. My dad left office and had 18 lawsuits against him. 18. And you know what they were about? Because he was trying to protect students and their education. You know, and he said no to, and this is the truth. He said no, we're not going to pull out bananas to 3-year-old kids in 3rd grade, hand them a condom and teach them how to put a condom on in 3rd grade. No, he got sued for that. Went to court over, won. So I know the struggles that you guys go through, and I know what it is to have the attacks. But there's a reason why we're at this place where the trust of the community has been lost. And this room was full Thursday night. You know, we had 30 to 50 people, 40 people from our church. And so when they look at that kind of behavior, you know who they look at? You guys. They look at you guys and go, hey, why is the commissioners not in touch with this? Okay? Kelly gets so much junk thrown at him, it's not even fair. You know, if I was Kelly, I'd have resigned a long time ago. I'd head back to Montana and hid my head in a cabin, you know, because of the stuff that he's taken on. And so I just want to share with you kind of where this has gone. This could have been a very simple process that planning and zoning could have said, okay, let's look at what happened. Let's find the documents, because Ms. Hubbard, she found the documents once, She brought them before planning and the commission and read the minutes, held them up right here where it was all approved. Now they're gone again. Huh? You found them? Oh, you found them yesterday? Good. So we got them now. But it's proven we were voted on by a previous leadership. But it was ignored. And it was like, well, sorry, and so we get this apology. But in the meantime, a 7-year-old church, and Cowboy churches, just from an economic standpoint, they give 50% less than traditional churches. And we got a building that's costing $2.7 million, and we can build it without this, but we need it for the loan, because it takes an $18,000 mortgage down to a $13,000 mortgage if we can pay that off by selling those properties. But the issue is, none of this should have happened. They should have just come back and said, let's investigate, let's get the documentation. And just because one man said, well, I think it's fair, well, who was it unfair? It wasn't fair to us. It cost us $400,000. Who else was involved? It could have been done. So the issue at stake, gentlemen, is the fact that there needs to be this reviewing and tightening of accountability. And if the governing body is the commission, I would encourage you to be the governing body over all of the committees, because you guys are the ones that were elected to represent your districts. And then it's like planning and zoning's out there floating their own boat. And that's causing a real problem. And I'm going to say this, and I'll promise I'll shut up. I think we have a company out of Houston, Texas, that wants to buy one of our lots. They are a multi-million-dollar company. They've come to Edgewood, they've done their demographics, they've done their due diligence, and they think Edgewood is the perfect place to start a branch. And what they do will touch every potential building, residential or commercial built. They deal with Houston City Council, they deal with Houston politics, Texas politics, and they want to come here. And they've already told us what lot they want. And what they could do could be very beneficial to us as a community, very beneficial. I think it'd make people happy. But here's my question. You have professionals like this running multi-million-dollar businesses, and they come into planning and zoning like last Thursday night. Do you think they want to drive a stake in the ground in Edgewood, New Mexico? They're going to go, no, this town's going to grow. Whether people like it or not, this town's growing. This town's going to explode. 3 to 5 years, none of us will recognize it. But it may not if there's not professionalism and done at the level of government, and especially in the planning and zoning. I have no personal agenda, hurt feelings from planning and zoning. But if I mess up on my job, there's a group called the elders. And there's a group of people called the church, and I hear about it. And I expect them to hold me accountable because I'm just one man, I'm a human. Well, this idea of scaring people, threatening to have them arrested and thrown out of a meeting, if they don't have a personality that's willing to stand up and push back, they go, well, why do I even mess? So they don't show up. They don't fight back because the power is abused to threaten and intimidate people. And that's all that was. And that's the last thing somebody's going to do to me is try to intimidate me or threaten me or give me an ultimatum. It just doesn't fly. So I say that to you, and I hope you understand the spirit in which I said it in. And I hope you understand that it's not trying to make cause. I don't want to sue, But if we have to sue to find out what our rights are, we will sue. Because it's cost us. As a pastor, people look at me going, why is this happening? And we've got people in this room that go to our church, and they'll tell you, I sound like the boy that cried wolf, not 3 times, but 300 times, because I have to get up in front of the congregation and go, well, this changed, well, then this changed, and this changed, and it all comes back to this office. And people, I have to keep them built up, and I'm surprised some people have stayed with us as long as they have, because I say, this is what we're told, and then I have to go back and say, whoops. So it impacts credibility on our leadership. So I'm done. Thank you for your time and your grace.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Murillo.
I move to postpone the consent agenda to the next meeting. So we're missing minutes from June 15th and the minutes from June 16th. They're accurate, but they had the wrong time on it. So if we could just put that on the next meeting to approve.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Any further discussion? All right. All in favor of moving this off to the next meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Commissioner Murillo. Takes us to item E, matters from commissioners. Kim, it's always best to start with my left, so it's easy. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody who came out to the car show on Father's Day. It was great. We had a great turnout, a lot of great cars, a lot of people with a lot of positive things that they had to say about what's going on in Edgewood, which made me feel really happy. And also, belated Happy Father's Day to all our fathers out there, and hope everybody was able to enjoy the day and have a safe day. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Milligan.
I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I'm saddened and sickened to hear about the planning and zoning problems. Economic development's a huge thing that's taking place, so we need to look into that and get that addressed right away. That's all I have for now.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Murillo.
I believe the Cowboy Church is in District 4, so if Mr. Miller, if we could connect offline, that would be great. We could talk about that. This is news to me about what's going on with that, so, and I believe it's in District 4, so connect with me offline. And that's all I have for tonight.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Taylor.
First off, happy 250th birthday to America, because I don't think we'll see each other again. So, that first. Next, I'm a little disappointed that I see 18 people in attendance today, when we had a packed house for the past 90 days. And I know we talked about this last time. Planning and zoning, just one of many problems. We'll see another problem today that we're addressing, and I think that's my vision of bringing things up to fix them, to try to bring never trust the government, but maybe bring a little bit back. And so I would like to, again, I'm going to say this every single, I'm going to track the people and how many people show up, because I firmly believe that the accountability needs to be on here, because just like planning and zoning, we had no idea until you guys all show up. So, other than that, happy Father's Day and happy birthday, America, once again.
Thank you, Commissioner Taylor. On behalf of the commission, a lot of things that I heard, I'd been contacted by many members of the public over the last week in reference to what we heard, testimony we heard tonight, and I want to apologize for that. And I do know that our town manager is diligently working on P&Z issues. We know there's problems there, and would you care to share a little bit about that, Manager Kelly?
Absolutely, Mr. Commission Chair and Commissioners. There are problems, and make no mistake about it, at the end of the day, they stop with me. And they're a failure on my part as management to bring this together. And it will change, and it will change rapidly. We've had a high turnover rate for various reasons. But I think I've already met with the members of the Planning and Zoning Commission, 3 of them since then. We have a plan where one Planning and Zoning and the Planning and Zoning Commission would agree with me that there's an issue, and we need to fix a lot of systemic issues in that whole process. But one Planning and Zoning Commissioner is going to abstain from the commission, the sitting commission, for a meeting and work directly with staff to ensure that what the commission needs is exactly what staff is doing, and then they won't participate in the deliberations. So that's one thing we're doing. We're working very closely with our attorney for planning and zoning, and there have been some changes, but there's also been some good happen that we're not talking about here. And Elise, who was put in a very horrible situation, because she was the only person for a while. She has an incredible mind, and she has already discovered problems with forms that we've been using for years that reference the wrong ordinance on them. and she's getting those corrected. She has a mind, she worked in finances before this, and so she's very good at searching titles, ownership, and those sorts of things. And then we've discovered where we've let people who don't own land in the area that they're providing testimony for that should never be allowed. And so we're making corrections. Excuse me. It does end with me, and I've focused away from JPA and budget as much as I can to planning and zoning, and we will correct it.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Milligan.
Manager Kelly, do they seem more open to have more than just one meeting a month? 'Cause that's a little
Commissioner, I would need to address that with him, and I certainly will. In all fairness to the commission, they may have been advised by the previous manager, and I don't know this as a fact, that one meeting a month was sufficient. So I will address that. I will talk to the commission about that. And the other thing we're going to work with, Commissioner, is Robert's Rules and Order as well, and probably tap into Commissioner Brennan and do some of that as well. So we'll get it fixed, but I apologize. I absolutely apologize, because at the end of the day, it stops on my desk.
Thank you, Manager Hamilton. I appreciate that. And I don't think that these are just idle words, folks. We really, truly know that there's problems, and we're working through them the best we can. This turnover of personnel that we see, it's an epidemic everywhere. And it's a problem that we're doing our best, and we think we're getting the best, and then something happens and a person moves on, or things don't get done, and we have to take the appropriate action. And we're left with some fallout as a result of that. So again, like you said, I think we owe you an apology for that, and I think we need to help you get this straightened out. So thank you again for that. And the last thing I have is I wanted to thank everyone again for the support and helping us get this JPA and ordinance on our fire and EMS support done. The public came together and made a difference here. You helped us to figure out what was best for this community, and we did that. I feel that you're going to see more of that as we move through these issues that we've identified. So again, thank you for everything, and I will be staying on as a commissioner. I got some unfinished business I need to take care of, and in the meantime, I'm still available. If anybody wants to talk to me about anything or reach out to me, I'm still available. So thank you again. All right, that takes us on to reports. Anything else from commissioners before we move on? All right, thank you. Deputy Clerk.
Chair and Commissioners, we are going to introduce a new staff member from P&Z, Planning and Zoning, our Code and Compliance Officer, Justin Whites.
Hello, Chair, Commissioners, and Administration, constituents. My name is Justice Whites. I am a Code Enforcement Officer in the Planning and Zoning Department. I started last Monday. I come here from Torrance County with 3 years of code enforcement and zoning experience. I am a certified public official through New Mexico Edge, as well as I literally just need to take an exam, and I'll be a certified floodplain manager as well. I'm more than willing to stand for any questions.
Thank you and welcome aboard, sir. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One quick question. Was that Justin or Justice? Justice, okay.
That's a good name to have.
That's what I thought I heard. It says, I've never heard that for a first name.
Yes, sir. Justice.
Sorry, I apologize. I said his name incorrectly.
And the last name, is that W-I-T-Z?
W-E-I-T-Z. It's German, I believe.
That's really a good name to have in this line of work.
I have gotten that many times over the last 3 years. I have.
Bring the justice. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Lieutenant Lovato.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, good evening. I'm sitting in for the chief this week. He's on vacation. He didn't leave anything for me to relay for you all. I did want to mention that the police department is taking donations for their annual school supply drive. So if anybody wants to drop off any unused school supplies that can be used for the kids going back to school this school year, we are taking donations Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 at the Edgewood Police Department, and then we will have the school supply drive itself July 20th through the 24th while supplies last from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Previous years, we've helped a lot of families get their school supplies, so I'm once again reaching out for donations and hoping it'll be another successful year for the kiddos going back to school. And I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you, appreciate you all doing that. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair?
Commissioner Brennan.
Lieutenant, any particular items you really are looking for, or?
Really, in the past, we've been able to use pretty much anything. What we try to get is we try to be able to push out some of the higher dollar items, but at the same time, and what I mean by higher dollar items is your backpacks and stuff that, you know, families seem to struggle having to purchase in the stores because the prices of those items are going higher and higher. So if we could get some of those items, I mean, those are usually the first that fly off the tables when we do host these things. But any kind of school supply drive, any kind of school supplies that you would see, whether it be crayons, notepads, notebooks, you name it, we get them in as donations and people take them off the table. Last year, we opened up for a week and we were out of supplies by, I think, 10 o'clock the second day.
May I ask a question of this person? Do you, oh, sorry, Lieutenant, my bad.
You're good.
Give me a 5-minute head start after the meeting. Come get him now. Does Edgewood PD partner with anyone like Bethel or such?
We have numerous donors, Rich Ford, Walmart, most of your local businesses actually donate to this cause.
Okay, because
Yes.
I represent East Mountain Cowboy Church at Bethel. They're coming into the same season. It's time for getting ready to go back to school. So, you know, you might want to call Linda Smith up there and talk to her. She's a sweetheart. She might be able to help you out.
Would absolutely love to hear from her.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, LT. Mr. Hamilton.
Yes, good evening again, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Again, I want to acknowledge the problems in planning and zoning, and we will get those fixed. And I apologize, this can't continue, but we'll get them fixed, guaranteed. You know, as you've talked about and you mentioned, we do have a fire burning east of us here. The lieutenant and I have consulted with one another in case something where I-40 were to stay shut down and we need to shelter people. We have a plan in place to do that, even if it involves using the library and town hall and some other resources, I believe, if we need it. We do have the budget. Misty Witt got the budget submitted to the DFA. We're at that they've accepted it. They've let us know, they've accepted it in the fact that we need to make 2 or 3 adjustments. And then we have a couple, 5 or 6 fatal mistakes in the police department that we need to go back to and address and make some adjustments so we continue on some contractual services that we're obligated to pay, and we just can't get out of that, nor should we, because it involves some important. And then finally, on the joint powers agreement and the ordinance, as you know, is in public hearing now. I extended an invitation to the county manager and his attorney, Walker Boyd, and Walker Boyd is going to come down and meet here at Town Hall on Thursday and apply his signature to it. And we're also working on the confession statement. The attorneys are, Walker Boyd and June are, that should we ever need to use it, how that process would look if we fail to make a payment, and how we would rectify that within the time frame. And other than that, I stand for any questions you might have.
You said DFA had, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. You said DFA came back with 2 or 3?
2, I believe, and it could be 3
Was one
things that they wanted corrected that we represented, whether it may be a number of an account or something like that.
Okay.
And then we have about, I don't know, LT 6 line items that we need to adjust in the police department.
Okay. Oh, fine. Okay.
It's still our goal, Commissioner, to maintain a zero balanced budget one way or another.
I would hope so.
However, we do have some
I know.
mistakes that we need to, but it's still our goal
This
to
is the-
maintain a balanced budget.
This is the year to rip off the Band-Aid.
What's that?
Nothing, nothing, we're good.
Okay. That's all, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hamilton. Appreciate the sincere update. Thank you. And I know we'll get it done. Okay, folks, let's take us on to new business. And first item up, G1, is Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem discussion, consideration, action. As I stated earlier, I was the one that brought this up, and I'll just read to you what I wrote in the agenda requests. That might help clear up any questions that may arise. Discuss Mayor Pro Tem duties, responsibility, obtain input from current Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem on potential way forward. Solicit interest from other commissioners willing to serve in either of these capacities and make the appropriate selections. As I stated, I've indicated plans to retire in the very near future, which creates vacancy in the mayor's seat, which we've already established, and vacancy, and District 5, which I'm staying on as commissioner for the time being. And this presents an opportunity for us to discuss this in the way forward. So I don't know right off the bat who is willing to do this, but I believe based upon what we've seen so far from Commissioner Taylor and his willingness to jump in and get taken care of whatever needs, and that's not saying any of the rest of us aren't doing that, but he's taken the bull by the horns, and he's made significant changes, and he's engaged. I would think that he would be a great fit for this right now in that transition period. And if he's willing to do it, I'd like to make a motion to select Commissioner Taylor as the new mayor. So that's the motion I've got on the table right now. And do I hear a second?
I'll second the discussion.
Commissioner Millen, second. Further discussion?
How do you feel about that, Mr.
We'll take it back. Yeah, I mean, if that's what we agree to, I'll take the duty.
Okay. Well, I think it's going to be a perfect fit. It's a big ask, and I think if any one of us is up to that challenge, you are definitely one of those guys. So I would love to welcome you aboard. So let's take the vote. All in favor
Are
of?
you really up to it? Because, there is a lot that comes with it. I know you have a baby on the way, you have a child, you're building a house.
Yeah, worst comes to worst, I just step back.
Okay, now you know you can vote for yourself on this.
Yeah, that's weird.
It does feel a little bit weird, but that's just part of it. So,
Chair?
yes.
Commission, we'd have to do a roll call vote for this.
Okay, all right. So if there's no further discussion, please take the roll call vote.
Commissioner Brennan?
Even though I think that eventually he'll make a great mayor, he has yet to have the experience or the training to fully understand all the implications that the office comes with it. So I vote nay.
Commissioner Milligan?
Yay.
Commissioner Reardon?
Yay.
Commissioner Murillo?
Nay.
And Commissioner Taylor?
Yay.
Okay. The motion carries. Welcome aboard, Commissioner Taylor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any further discussion on this subject tonight?
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Murillo.
I move to appoint Commissioner Brennan as pro tem.
Okay, we have a motion on the table to appoint Commissioner Brennan as pro tem. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. Any further discussion? If I may, I think Commissioner Brennan would make a great choice as the pro tem. He has extensive experience in this area. He knows how to do it. He'd be a great backup to show Commissioner Taylor the ropes. He helped me through several tough times. Parliamentary procedures are hard. It takes a lot to learn, and you'll be the right guy to do that, Ken. So if there's no further discussion, let's move to the roll call vote.
Commissioner Brennan?
Aye.
Commissioner Milligan?
Aye.
Commissioner Reardon?
Aye.
Commissioner Murillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you, folks. Thank you very much. All right, moving on to utility billing presentation. I'm not sure what this entails.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Taylor, go ahead.
So Tina got with me, was that 2 weeks ago? Just about?
Just about.
So I want to bring up every single problem that we have so we can fix it. So we avoid planning and zoning, we avoid JPAs, we avoid this. And so she has worked extremely hard, and by no means did I do anything. This was all her. She brought it up to me and asked me a couple questions of what I personally would like to see. So obviously there's some mathematical formulas and some revenue projections that were missed out that I wanted to see. Just always follow the money, Mary. And so this is a minor thing, but it is something that we need to address. And so I just want to thank you.
Commissioner, could you maybe explain a little bit more about the problem? Because it is a significant
Okay,
problem,
so
huge problem.
She has a great presentation, so I don't want to take that from her. So just the short gist of it is sewer tap and the properties that are tied to it and the lack of billing on the town's part to every individual business or whatever may be that is into it or tapped into it. So she put a presentation together. She has an entire spreadsheet listing out everybody who's tapped into the wastewater and has some projections and backdated. These problems, by the way, go all the way to 2018, I believe, on a couple. So I'll ask my questions that we discussed earlier later.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner and Chair. Like Commissioner Taylor says, I have done a utility billing process. I did a spreadsheet, and this is my presentation. So the purpose of this audit, the reason this was brought to us is a property at 1943, Old US 66. They purchased the property back in November of 2025. They gave us a call and said, hey, we haven't received a bill to pay our sewer. So I went into our utility system, couldn't find their name, couldn't find the address, couldn't find anything. So the former managers said, oh, well, that's a problem. So I took it upon myself to look into why we didn't have anything under that address for any type of utility billing. And it come to find out the former owners were connected to the sewer system but weren't paying any utility billing since they were connected in 2020. So I did my digging. In the town of Edgewood, we provide sewer services since the line was placed. There are 69 properties that are hooked up to the sewer system. Commercial of 53, residential's 2, non-served are 13, and inactive 2. So I am using the example of Champion Car Wash. They have been connected for 2+ years and have not paid a bill. So you have some examples on your in front of you. that Dennis Engineering has done their calculations. They've done their, what their monthly fee has been, all of their hookup fees, everything that is placed in front of you. And I have done a comparison of Starbucks, so you guys can see what is there and what's missing. So there's 17 properties currently connected to the wastewater system are not being built. This represents 25% of all connected properties, and I did a little mathematical. So 17 times 69 times 100 is at 25% that we're missing. So the estimated revenue impact. Average commercial wastewater billing, I did an average about $166. 16 unbilled properties, so that comes out to $33,864. Sorry, I said that backwards, getting a little tongue-tied. So that's not including the fees and percentages, increases, and connection dates from when they hooked up. So we're missing a lot extra money, is not included in that total. So the revenue lost over the years, example, so that is over $200,000. And that's not including the increased rates of each property. So I put an example, Smith's property, Smith's utility billing from 2020 was $340, now $400, and that's a 17.9 increase. So that way you guys had an example of what all these properties that have not been paying over the years and what we're losing in revenue. So like I said, my prime example is Champion. The $171, as you see an example on the paper, as when they started would be their payment, and what their increase would have been, and we're over the 2.5 years is $6,000, and that's including their 20.8 increase from 2023. So that's my little graph that I've created, and that shows the properties identified, unbilled properties, not served, and the inactive. And so that's a pretty large chunk. So my next steps is to make contact with the unbilled properties, verify connections, establish billing accounts, recover revenue percentages with verified dates of connections to present date, work with administration and legal counsel if necessary to determine appropriate recovery options. And I did work with Mike with wastewater. He'd helped me identify a lot of properties. He looked on maps to see where the sewer systems were connected, how far off, helped identify where the mapping was for all of the areas. He did help. Also, the road supervisor, he did contact Dennis Engineering to help get the spreadsheets and help with a large part of that. Mike also helped play a large part in all of this too, to help identify all these properties. So the improved internal process is going to be to develop a standardized process for tracking wastewater hookups and service activations. And I would like to ensure all properties connected to the town's wastewater system are accurately identified, properly documented, and billed appropriately, strengthening the accountability and improve the long-term financial sustainability in the water utility system. And that's the end of mine. If you have any questions, I stand for questions.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Taylor.
just thank you. That's, in my opinion, if you're gonna bring up a problem, end it with a solution and the next step, so that way you guys don't sit there and go, well, what are you gonna do about it? So thank you very much. And I know I've already asked the question of the ordinances and how basically how we calculate the billing per, I know the EPA is different with how they set up septics, but I'm curious to that process. And other than that, just thank you, and I'll meet with you whenever to help.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation. And again, this just goes to our goal to try to be transparent and show what's out there. We know going forward now, we're gonna start billing these folks and we'll generate that revenue along with other things we're seeing as we walk through this. So yes, this is a start, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner.
was there any particular reason on why they were hooked up to these things, why they were never billed? Or who made that decision?
I could not tell you honestly. I have no answers to that question, why they are not being billed. It could be former,
Would that have fallen under like planning and zoning? Or?
it does, and I really don't know how to answer that, sir. I'm
That's
sorry,
fine.
but I don't know why they're not being billed.
Okay, thank you.
Commission Chair, Commissioners, this has been an issue since I got here. We just don't know, and we haven't known until Tina took it upon herself and Commissioner Taylor, or Mayor Taylor, Commission Chair Taylor took it upon himself and raised the question. And so we'll come back to you with some internal process that you all will need to have a look at and get it nailed and get it procedural to where it's constantly being done.
Are new applicants or people that are connecting to that line, are they being billed or not?
Not
So like
consistently that I'm
subdivisions and
aware of,
stuff that
no.
are coming in, there's nothing?
So they've had to have they've had to go through the process to hook up, so hopefully, but there is no consistency, I don't believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, of us sending out monthly statements, much like pay water or utility or whatever, those sorts of things that I'm aware of, and we just didn't know what we didn't know.
So I seen during the process that there was hookups back in 2020, 21, 22, and it depends on who was in the planning and zoning department at the time. But there are utility billings. I do the monthly statements. I sent them out to the ones that are in our system. But for the accounts to be generated and all of that, I don't know where how that fell through the cracks or what happens during that process.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Taylor.
I know there's no active action item for it, but I think it would also just a courtesy if we can, staff, send out notification to forewarn them, hey, we've identified you before here's a bill, and then they're like, well, what the heck?
That's a good idea.
Just
Yes,
some sort of
that was
notification.
part of my plan, to let them forewarn them, hey, we know that you're hooked up, please
Okay.
provide the information of when you were hooked up,
Yeah.
by what company, whatever information, please provide that so we can get started on the process.
So the town manager role in all this is to stay out of her way, out of Mike Garcia's way, out of planning and zoning, and make sure it becomes part of the process in a monthly.
Yes, ma'am, did you have a question?
How do I go about getting connected? What is the process? And is it not written down? I happen to be a data system designer, and just like processes.
If you're within the boundaries of the infrastructure, you probably could, but it depends on where you live. It doesn't go throughout the town.
Who do I connect with?
So you would need to come into planning and zoning, and that's one thing we're going to work on, make sure you get the right information.
Lost me there.
I think we found the systemic black hole.
However, I would remind people that not everywhere has access to our sewer system.
You're welcome. Okay, folks,
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Brent.
so I know you use Champion Car Wash as the example here, that they haven't been paying a monthly fee because they haven't been billed. The other fees, the application fee, the service tap fee, and the capacity fee, do you know if those were paid?
Sir, I do not know, honestly. I would have to look into that to see. I'm just going off of what that was provided, and I didn't see any further documentation. I'd have to dig into, I have boxes in my office, but I can't find any receipts or any further information proving otherwise that anything else was paid.
Okay. And maybe town manager would probably be a better one to answer this. What's the town's process for when somebody goes to hook up to go ahead and acquire these fees?
So you'll see in front of you an engineering report as an example. Typically, the applicant, let's take commercial property, would work with an engineering company, and you'll see in the document that Christina provided, you would see the application fee. They will calculate those for the applicant, and then we will make sure that they will also make sure that the applicant pays those to the town.
Okay, so I'm assuming these numbers in here that we have for Champion are estimated numbers. 'Cause I can imagine the flow rate through there has to be a lot greater than what Smith's has. And what we have here is that there actually would be charged a lower monthly fee than what Smith's is. And I just want to make sure we go through this and we're being fair to everybody.
So, Mr. Commission Chair and Commissioners, we have a progress project with Mr. Cog looking at our utility billing rates, and because there is drastic inconsistency from one business to another, and while we provide a basic, here's how you do it, there's inconsistencies between the engineering firms as well. So there's a lot of work to be done, but I think we have the right person on the job to my left.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Okay, moving on to item H, closed session. We need a motion to go into closed session.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Brennan.
I move that we go into closed session as per roll call vote as stipulated by items H1 and H2.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second. Any discussion? All right, with no discussion, please take the roll call vote to go into closed session.
Commissioner Brennan?
Aye.
Commissioner Milligan?
Aye.
Commissioner Reardon?
Aye.
Commissioner Murillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor?
Aye.
Okay, we're in closed session. Thank you. Okay, folks, need a motion to return to regular session.
Mr. Chair, I move that we come back in open session.
Okay, we have
Second.
all right, we have a second. Any discussion? If not, please take the roll call vote to return to regular session.
Commissioner Brennan?
Aye.
Commissioner Milligan?
Aye.
Commissioner Raritan?
Aye.
Commissioner Murillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Commissioners, we need to only affirm that the only items on the agenda for closed session were discussed and no decisions were made. I so affirm.
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 Okay. And we have several actions we are going to take on the closed session. So the first one is I'll make a motion to direct the town manager to sign a contingency water right agreement along with a public presentation at the next regular town meeting on 14 July 2026.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, let's take the roll call vote on this one too, please.
Commissioner Brennan?
Aye.
Commissioner Milligan?
Aye.
Commissioner Raritan?
Aye.
Commissioner Murillo?
Aye.
Commissioner Taylor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Brennan.
I move that the commission accepts the resignation of the Deputy Manager Clerk Treasurer, Misty Witt, with an effective date of 3 July.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Any discussion? Okay, let's take the roll call vote on that one, please.
Commissioner Brennan?
Aye.
Commissioner Milligan?
Aye.
Commissioner Raritan?
Aye.
Commissioner Murillo?
Nay.
Commissioner Taylor?
Aye.
Okay,
Motion carries.
all right. Thank you. That brings us to the end. Next item up is future meetings. 1 July, I'm sorry, number 1, 14 July, regular commission meeting. 28 July, regular commission meeting, and 11 August, regular commission meeting. And I believe I saw a workshop.
Yes, you did, Commissioner.
And
ICIP next Tuesday, 5 o'clock work session, 6 o'clock meeting.
Okay,
Capital improvement,
ICIP Tuesday at 5 o'clock.
yes, sir, workshop, and then 6 o'clock meeting.
Okay. All right. And future events, first up is teen field trip, main event Thursday, June 25th, 9 to 3. Summer reading event, Wonder on Wheels, Thursday, June 25th, 11 to 1. June dumpster days, Saturday and Sunday, June 25th and 26th, 9 to 3 at the Town Roads Department. Movie matinee, Library Ice Age Dawn of Dinosaurs, Saturday, June 27th at 12. Movie matinee, Saturday, April 25th, 12 p.m. at the Edgewood Library, and Route 66 series, July 14th.
There, Mr. Chair.
Which one?
April 25th.
April 20, that can't be right. Nope.
Oh, no.
Good. I'm glad you caught that. I just read right over it.
That's
That
a
would-
long wait.
This would be epic.
Yeah,
This would be huge.
well, that would have to be June. All right, Route 66 series, July 14th, extravaganza, Venus Park, July 4th, parade, car show, craft show, food truck music, and 9 p.m. laser show. Final comments by commissioners.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Muriel.
I won't be available next Tuesday. I'll be out.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Taylor.
I'll be in Las Cruces.
Okay.
Mr.
What
Chair,
about the other 3 commissioners?
Commissioner Brennan.
is there any way you guys could join online by phone?
No.
Most likely not. I'll try, but odds are not in my favor.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, I can provide you all the information. It would be the vote, I believe, that we would need you most at. I think I haven't talked to the 3 of you about whether you can make it or not yet. We just got behind the timeline on it. We got to get it done by the end of June because it's due 1st July.
So just a workshop on Tuesday?
Yes, sir, and then
And a regular meeting
and a
following.
regular
because
meeting
we gotta
following
vote
that
on
to
it.
approve the ICIP plan, the
Oh,
capital
I see.
improvement
Got
plan.
it.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Is it a regular meeting or a special meeting?
It'd be a special meeting.
Okay, to clarify.
I'll do my best. I'll be in Las Cruces, so.
Okay. I'll be able to make it.
I should be able to.
I definitely will be.
Thank you.
Okay.
And again, I understand. I apologize for the short notice. We just got to get it done.